So important for us to go in, within the within, to see what God knows to be the truth about us. And we metaphysicians know this, and what Edith said, that the infinite that gave rise to us cannot know any imperfection. No imperfections, nothing lacking, no disability, no I can'ts, no impossibles. The infinite can only shine, can only know itself through us. So our whole thing in getting rid of all the negation and stuff we've surrounded ourselves with that has prevented our movement is to come to the same realization that we are one with the perfection of spirit, and to hold this knowing, regardless of whatever we're going through, in and through our outer activities, so that we bring to the outer what is the truth of the inner from the beginning. So I would recommend looking in that reflection pool very often. Vision plus velocity equals victory, and that's a formula that I'm very excited about, and I think that it's very mathematically correct and metaphysically correct. I'd like to begin this morning the ultimate divine formula for materialization and for successfully manifesting your good. This is the exact equation through which you are always divinely empowered to perfectly demonstrate without question. Vision plus velocity equals victory. It is through this understanding of how to materialize your good that we bring the heaven, or our divine ideals that we have for ourselves, to earth or into our experience. How we condense the vision that we have for ourselves and power it over to become a material fact, form, and function. We like to say the statement, it is a fact, form, and function in my life. So this is the same as Einstein's great formula. Energy equals matter. Energy equals matter, substance, the available substance, the forming substance. You know, every time you think, your mind moves upon the invisible substance, like clay or whatever, and moves to mold and shape that. So energy equals substance times the speed of light. There's your velocity. There's your acceleration, squared, okay? So, and empowered and multiplied upon, all right? E equals mc squared. So we could say our forms equal our vision plus the velocity that we apply behind it, which adds that light, that speed, and that intensity. So this energy of creation is our vision for ourselves to be established, or to witness ourselves being transported into the new condition of greater good that we see for ourselves. And we must know that the possibility of demonstration and the speed or velocity of demonstration rests in two divine powers, the two divine powers of will and faith. Will and faith. Okay? How well we use and keep that line of will and faith moving once we've chosen our ideal is where that will govern the speed of the demonstration. 100% will and faith, belief, we know our belief is all. 100% backup through will and faith applied to any vision of good cannot fail. Cannot fail. This is a great realization. If I decide to have something, to have, be, do, actualize anything, and I have 100% faith and will behind it to succeed, is there anything that can make me fail? Is there anything? No, there is not. So our success relies upon our 100% application. All right. So this faith and will moves upon matter and moves also within our consciousness upon ideas of obstruction. You know those ideas? I can't, it's too hard, whatever it is. The energy of will and faith consciously applied and moved upon that breaks down all and goes past all walls of obstruction. or better still, like a rotor-rooter, those machines that go through steel. It bores through the steel of our limitation to successfully let in the radiance of the light that is, the fulfillment that is. So will and faith, conviction, determination, and your decision to succeed come what may, held like a laser beam on the point decided for in mind, provides the piercing ray, the mold, the avenue, and acts as a non-stop magnetic current to draw all the ways and means of harmonious fulfillment to it. Faith and will to demonstrate provide your velocity. It is also said, and your acceleration. It is also said that to the degree we waver or doubt, the timing of our manifestation is slowed. Remember, every time you stop to doubt, you have delayed your demonstration. Doubting yourself, doubting the universe, doubting your God, doubting the availability. You have to take time out from life to stop to perform that mental process. So that slows down your good, okay? Yet, perfect faith will manifest instantly. Perfect faith, knowing no obstruction, no impossibilities, will go forth into manifestation instantly and with ease. So while we're acquiring the knowledge that can give us that understanding of why we can rest secure in our perfect faith that it is done, while we are busy acquiring and working, getting to that level of knowing, apply your will to hold your faith in place regardless of whatever you're feeling, thinking, saying, doing. And return to nurture. If your laser beam goes off or it gets weak, there's no problem with the laser beam. A laser beam can keep its one-pointedness and does not lose any velocity or intensity whatsoever unless we shift it, right? So you get centered again, you apply that, your determination again in your meditation, and you pick up that vision again, and you go forth till it is done, till it takes. Like you go into the supermarket, right? They run the item over the checker runs the item over the thing, and then, sometimes they've got to run it again, and it doesn't click. So remember, you're just like that. You're going to run that form, desirable form or experience over that scanner until it clicks and you walk out with the goods that you have purchased through your coin of consciousness and through your will and your faith. Okay? Linda? Okay. I'm going to get into that, but I want to stay with this today, but just let me say one thing, that anything that promotes good, increase of good, more joy, more happiness, more abundance, more self-expression, more authority, more freedom in your life, more godliness. This is all God aspects of you, right? Anything that promotes that is something deserving to back it up, because if you've got, and also you will know that it's okay and harms no one. That's the formula, and harms no one. So, the world is yours. Okay? So how can we have such faith that moves the mountains of resistance and provides unconditionally, even though, as Ernest Holmes makes this great statement, even though every thought in the universe must change to accommodate us? How can we acquire such a faith, even when to all appearances everything seems against us? We must build into our consciousness that total comprehension that the creative law always operates unconditionally. No conditions, no restrictions. It can do all for you. And it also operates within its own system. It has its own way of operating that is unlike anything that is filled with limitation in terms of, all the stuff that you hear in the collective mind. So it has its own laws of operating. It is unrestricted, and it operates out of itself. Out of itself. So and by its own system of the laws of freedom. This is what I mean, Linda. Anything that, brings out the greatness of you must come and will be promoted by the universe if you are not obstructing it yourself from happening. Okay? Because the will of life is the will of freedom. The will of God is the will of freedom, liberation, love, expression, mastery in your worlds. Okay? So the only important thing for us, if we realize this, the creative law is complete unto itself, and though the way is not even visible right now, will make the way for me if I will provide the consistent avenue, the nurturing avenue of faith and choice. That's all I have to do. So the only important thing is not the hows and the means. We don't have to figure out how. We know how, through the greatness that is. And it will do, and it will choose the perfect and right means, okay? The only important thing is not the hows and the means. It is the clarity of our vision that is important. And the maintaining of our freedom and our loyalty and our fealty to our very own vision, our very own dream, our very own purpose, beyond and transcendent of the flux and flows of conditions. If you get stuck in that which is happening out there, you've lost your mileage. You're on temporary, hold somewhere. Your train is stuck, So you cannot afford to judge yourself by the conditions. You must judge yourself by what you know to be true about the law of mind, that nothing can obstruct it. So this is the critical factor between demonstrating or not demonstrating. It's a critical factor. Faith is that which sees and perceives in advance of the thing. Perceives and receives actually within, in advance of the thing. Faith knows the omnipotence of God being and of the life force that cannot be stopped. Omnipotence. He, she that knows no limits can be placed on me, for I am a divine being, for I am one with God. Who has perfect belief in a fulfilling God completes the law of the circle and the one. Why do I say the law of the circle? Because our thought goes out as a causation. That which we know goes out into mind as a causation and returns to us the full measure of our thought. All right? Mind moves upon itself to complete itself, never not to be fulfilled. So the law of the circle, we maintain that as we keep our faith, that vision that we started with comes around into manifestation at the point where we are. All right? So we must know that faith, based on the omnipotent and the infinite and our connection, has ways incomprehensible to the logical mind. It confounds logic, for logic is caught up in detail, facts. So faith moves beyond human systems. It is a law of itself, and it exists in a spiritual dimension. It has power and force and law and is creative substance. Okay. Can you see that? It may not seem tangible, but it is there, believe me. Okay, so faith moves beyond human systems and conditions, breaking through all systems and patterns of energy, congested energy, to achieve the purpose of the one believing. If every thought in the universe had to change to accommodate you, it would. It's tremendous. Tremendous. So I feel it's also important for us to know that our desires, this is another part of feeling confidence in your tool of faith and in knowing who you are. All of our desires always emanate from the Father-Mother mind, from the originating mind, the causal mind. We receive the impulse of the desire of the Father, wanting to express through us. We are the receiving station of the original mind, wanting to manifest. We are one with it, but we are also the receiving station. Okay? Here, through the soft or secret, silent voice of your intuition, you receive the thoughts, the inspirations, the intuitions of God in us, propelling us to something greater, prompting you toward magnificence, if you will, toward expansion. These originating desires are never of us as a solo planet, let's say, disconnected, something somewhere. They don't originate from us. They rise from the mind, from within, through the connection with the mind. Never of ourselves. And so though we often forget it, and we feel that we start to, when we get condensed in our ego, we begin to feel that we are on a quest alone. We forgot. This is a divine desire I have, right? It's mine. We get into struggle. Instantly at that minute, when we say it's mine alone, there is no God, we are struggling. But the instant we say, no, this is mine, this is given to me from on high, okay, I get the power of the universe behind me. There's a whole different other feeling there. So never of ourselves. Never forget that your good desires came from on high, and that they do receive the great support of the causal mind. Remind yourself, my desire is given me of the Father and has come to me to be absolutely completed through me. Why do I say through me? Why can I be so absolutely sure? Because it's come to me. Otherwise it would come to someone else. So it's come to me. And how do I accomplish this? Not by my power, but by the perfect power. An unfailing system of ways and means that gave it to me in the first place. The ways and means of the Father, or the originating mind. Also, it's another important factor to realize that when something comes to you to be completed from the Father mind, a great idea for you, that along with it came the entire unfoldment. All the ways and means, like a nucleus. It's like an atomic cell in which the whole concept is contained. So the originating mind never gives you anything and just run off and abandon you. It has given you the perfect unfoldment too. This is why we don't effort. We flow, we listen, we respond, we do what comes to us to do. We know that it is, but we don't effort. Because we realize that it is already divinely designed, it already is. And so we just kind of nurture it along, so that in order that the growth or the evolution of that is for us to do. We know that it is, but we don't effort. Because we realize that it is already divinely designed, it already is. And so we just kind of nurture it along, so that in order that the growth or the evolution of that idea can be perfect. So we nurture it with our faith, etc., etc. Okay? So when I heard this, I said, wow, you mean it's already complete from the very moment that it comes to me? So remember this. If you're saying, well, how can this ever happen? Are you giving up? It's already complete. Already perfect. All the ways and means. You can rely upon that. So then we have the option to power the vision that we receive of good and the knowing that the ways and means are perfect with our conviction and faith, or, since we have free will and free use of the dynamic power of the universe, which we can power all the negation by giving it our attention, all the statistics, and thereby obstructing. All that we've heard is so, how impossible it is, whatever it is. So we've used this mighty power of creation to obstruct ourselves. Imagine that. I know. So we want to use our power to move beyond status quo, very important. Move beyond status quo, absolutely. Do not be a statistic. Okay? Move beyond the odds, the status quo, statistics, and prove the invincibility and infallibility of the perfect one that you are one with. And there you will remove every lesser activity. Every statistic will melt in front of you doing this. Okay? Okay, so my desires have come to be fulfilled. And if I will radically rely, I like this statement, Emerson talks about radical reliance. We don't rely on conditions, we don't rely on persons. We rely on our staying with it, and we rely on the divine system to come through for us. If I will radically rely on the divine system of support and let go my status quo ideas, I will move out of a divided system and I will move into the wholeness and the fulfillment. And I should expect the best with a faith that does not fail, and cease worrying about the hows and whys. It's none of my business. As long as I know that they are, that's all I have to know. Whoever said I have to know exactly the details of it before it's revealed to me? Right? Demonstrations are not born out of what we have in our hands or in terms of our visible connections or things, or they are not born out of the outer. This is merely the place where our thought life manifests, the reflection of what we've been thinking about. So demonstrations are born, glories are born from the Father or highest vision within. That's the inception, the moment of birth. Self-empowered by choice, will and faith to demonstrate. So God, or divine mind, our belief in our inevitable fulfillment, that it must be so for me, it absolutely must be so, is the ever-increasing in strength and light and velocity factor that powers our vision, coupled with the knowing that we live in a divine system that fulfills itself and never considers any other option. We do not consider the possibility of not being fulfilled. That is impossible. We live in a divine system of fulfillment. Okay? So we stay with our vision till it takes. We use denials or resistance. This is very powerful, and this is very mystical. That we instead of being thwarted by resistance or denials that we meet up with on the outer. You know, sometimes as you're building, you will meet resistance, and you have to move past that, and you have to keep moving till it's no more. So we use denials or resistance on the outer to power our faith even more in the inevitable victory of higher means that cannot be stopped. This I call, it's sort of like the law of the opposites, and if you can understand this, you'll get a very great realization. While, let's say you've come up against denial of something or restriction, okay? Take that thing, whatever it is, Linda, and say to yourself, while you are busy denying me, you know, there's that feeling of being shut down, you know, no door open, right? This is a condition. This is an outer, right? This is a person, place, or thing that does not have the power to deny you, save if you get involved in it. So you say, while you're busy, you're free to do your thing. You're free to deny me whatever. While you're busy doing what you're doing, let me get this exact for you. My good continues, for I am relying on God. That's right. And you can use the energy of resistance, which feels like resistance against you, right? When you do not resist back, but you say, that's all right to that energy, but to the intensity of the resistance is also the possibility, once you've released, for the intensity of tremendous inrush. So while you are busy resisting or denying me, whatever that might be, you know, whatever that translates to you, you know, my line of good is secure, because why? God is in charge. And I prosper more than ever. The more you resist me, the more I prosper. Now I'm telling you, this is a dynamic energy formula. So you can thank people and things for, giving you a little bit more. Sometimes we need crisis. Sometimes we need this just to power our will factor a little bit more. That nothing can stop me. Maybe we've been a little bit wishy-washy, whatever. So if you meet up against this, do this. And realize that as you let that be, and you say, while you're doing that, I am prospering to an equal degree, even more so than ever before, however that translates to you, whether that's love, work, money, well-being, whatever it might be. And you will be very scientific about this, and you will have created an inrush, and I just experienced one of these, which I don't want to go into the details, but it's something I've realized several times in my life, and it's immensely powerful. So I recommend it, okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, a lot of complications about moving to Mexico in terms of customs and duties of what I can take and what I can't take, and I'm feeling overwhelmed, but
If some massive doors don't open up, massive, because you realize this is energy we're talking about, and everything is energy and the invisible. So we have to know how to rightly use energy. And so I would definitely, speak it in those terms, okay? Why can you say this? Because you're relying upon infallible cause. So you are not restricted anywhere, and you're entitled to your good. If it's a flowing, harmonious trip, all ways and means must serve you. All natural law must serve you, okay? All right, so we have given up giving up. We always go the last mile, and we rest secure that if all thought in the universe had to change, it will. And it is right now, and we never abandon that which is possible for us to have. We recognize our good is always available. There is no truth to denial or negation or qualification of how much good we may have as an expression of the divine. We convert our desires and wants into complete have and acceptance. The instant you have a desire, I want, that's how the language feels, right? Say, I have it now. Have it before. Receive before. I have it now. Okay? And you bring it through utilizing your will factor to align with the perpetual divine will of good and completeness by practicing staying with your vision, regardless and radical reliance. This is so fun. And you'll have many miraculous demonstrations. Radical reliance on the law of fulfillment. So you build up a magnetic field and spiritual stamina. You see? Stamina that is sublime. So remember, ask believing in me and ye shall receive. We remember that promise. If I apply my will and stick to my vision, it will be created on the spot for me if necessary. If there's no opportunity, it will be created on the spot for me if necessary. No, I mean, if it's not existent yet in the manifest world, it will be manifest for you on the spot. Okay, materialized. Okay, so if I apply my will and stick to my vision, for my true knowing is accommodated by all the laws of nature and manifestation, serve the divine. Okay? We rely on and stay on the divine system, the God system, independent manifestors we are. Okay? And we expect God and us to go all the way. We maintain visions of loftiest and noblest purpose. These will have very much power. The more lofty your purpose, the more power. Okay? Loftiest, noblest purpose, which uphold the divine ideal for us and for all of life. That which all of life, every living being is entitled to. And we say, if they fail me, constrict me, deny me, God upholds me even that much more. Okay, for God is our source, the system that does not fail, break down, run out, or withhold. God is a system of unfailing and everlasting love and fulfillment. The most practical, viable, flexible, available, inspirational resource that is. God is a system of the never-ending spontaneous circle of fulfillment, where our word cannot return to us void. Never returns to us void. the highest system of peace, harmony, fulfillment that knows no blocks, that is. We have overcome the world. And so it is. Okay. So I just like to do a very brief meditation. To cement this for us, okay? So let us go within to the highest summit of consciousness, where we are one with divine light and the flame of truth that flourishes dynamically before us. We are at the sacred spot of all manifesting action right now. We are at the desire plane of God, the place of causation, one with the mind of God. Now at this place, let us view the array of most divine and noble desires that God has laid out as a panorama of possibility for us. And let us each one now review this panorama and select from the seat of noblest desire that which we are most in conscious accord with right now. That which we would like to mobilize, to take unto ourselves and move into actualization at the matter level now. And let us make this promise now to absolutely bring this through to the perfect light of beingness and day. Absolutely. By constant reference and usage of the unlimited causal power and reference to the divine, drawing from this high fount all that we need in terms of persons, places, and things to give rise to the materialization of this vision. From this highest source and deepest reservoir, we right now draw our good, knowing and confident we are not stuck on ways and means. We allow, through our being, the perfect flow to manifest by the perfect grace and means of the originating cause, which we know are always harmony, peace, prosperity, joy, freedom for all. It is wonderful, as now we deeply know it is done unto us. We are ever the acceleration, the light of divine cause, the velocity of divine being, equivalent to absolute victory now. We are a mighty multiplying and demonstrating action, ever demonstrating the fullness of our good, one with all the laws of manifestation. Our personalities serve the divine ideal. We are manifest now. We give thanks. And so it is. That's what I am that I am. And we like to finish doing these because it helps, when we speak our word, it helps to, activate it for us. That's right. That's absolutely right. And who knows what we're speaking. All right. Okay. So let us read this together now, absorbing it into the very fibers of our being. Okay. I am that I am. And right now I declare there is nothing that I do with the perfect power of spirit backing me up that I do not accomplish exquisitely. There is no place where I cannot perfect that which has been given to me. My will and faith is my fortress of claim. There is no giving upness, no failure, nor defeat. I always set my sights to the highest high, aligned in perfect vision of the greatest and noblest expression of each and every idea of good that is divinely given to me. I know that I receive from on high, from the inception. Each and every desire is some principle of sublime life wanting to express through me. I accept the perfect ideas of divine mind always, giving them perfect entry, outlet, and removing each and every block between me and the vision fulfilled. I am the continuity and expression of all that is good, true, beautiful, opulent, and right. Thank you, God, for the great demonstration of expansion now manifests through me. Heaven has come to earth. I am the circulation, the emancipation, the freedom, and the glory of it all. I am the transcendent new life made visible and affirmed. I am the divine manifester and materializer of infinite and certain means, and so it is. And so it is. You like that? It's a keep. Okay.